Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I was going through the missions, instant action ones that are in here. Since I now own the Normandy Map plus the World War II Assets Pack, I'm finding that there are missions listed under Normandy that I wasn't able to play before when I owned just the Normandy Map. And I believe this is one of them. This is a free flight from the 6th of June, 1944. And now, I'm actually able to launch it. Because I didn't own the World War II Assets Pack. I picked up the Spitfire and the World War II Assets Pack together during the sale, and I was hoping that it was going to open up the door to a lot of other missions, maybe with cool World War II stuff in it, but basically I have to create those missions, or I have to buy campaigns, which I did, to take advantage of the World War II assets. Basically, the assets pack's just a bunch of objects, basically, that are World War II, vessels and probably looking buildings and whatnot. But the missions that do utilize these look rather really cool. So this is one of them right here. This is the free flight in the F-16, and basically how they've framed this is they say this situation presented here is based on the recon photos taken by Lieutenant Colonel Clarence Shoup and Lieutenant J.T. Cameron of the 27th PRS shortly after the initial landings. So essentially this is, during D-Day, I believe. Now, performance-wise, this isn't the best mission. But if you look, there's a lot of World War II ships, basically, which is really cool. And then you see, along the beaches, there's a ton of little battle scenarios that have occurred. I'm going to turn these objects off. They got the little balloon hanging over top of them, too. And look, there's still some shit going off over here. Yeah, so basically, these are the little battles that have occurred during it. And I guess this is their ode to Normandy, 1944. And this is, again, given to you if you have the Normandy Map, the World War II Assets Package, and the Early Access of the F-16. And there's a bunch of little scenarios presented down the coastline as you fly. I really wasn't a fan of this map at first, but it's growing on me now that I own the Spitfire and I'm trying to figure it out. And now I'm exploring all those missions that I have that came with the Normandy Map for other modules that I own that used to just say, I'd go to launch the mission and it would say, oh, you don't own the World War II Assets Pack. Thank you, come again, One of those missions that's the most fun that I've found so far is a mission for the Vigan called Harbor Strike under the Instant Action Missions. And it is a mission that is set up with the SB-71 high drag bombs that makes the absolutely perfect scenario for you to learn how to utilize the high drag bombs. It's like just a big giant harbor. Hey, look at that. It's just a big, nice, giant harbor built with the World War II Assets Pack that has a bunch of ships in a harbor that you could just, start lobbing the high drag bombs at, which is really cool. It is my new favorite fun mission to fly the Vigan in right now. Super fun. That's how I learned how to use those high drag bombs, was basically that mission. And it looks absolutely amazing. So again, it's growing on me. I'm getting some micro stuttering here. Probably from all the extra objects. Somebody was saying I have to go into the options and turn off wake turbulence. I don't remember seeing that option before, but I'm going to look for it here shortly and see if that helps me out, because there's another mission for the oh, look at this battle. For the KA-50 that I can't even play because it ends up so laggy in VR for DCS in the KA-50. Like, it drops down to like 7 to 10 to 12 and maybe as high as 21 FPS, and then jumps back up to 40 every once in a while. So it's just too much. I tried it on my 2D panel, and I can get, you know, at the very least like 59 FPS all the way up to 90 to 100 FPS. So there's definitely something going on in that mission, and that is limiting in VR. But there's a few missions like that. One of the missions I created with the Star Destroyers in the Star Wars mod, hey, look at this, more stuff, is next to impossible to fly in VR because I have too many objects and too many planes kind of doing their own thing. Yet in 2D I can play it and you know, never drop below 60-ish. So, like I said, the problem with VR is we're limited by the hardware that we have at this point. VR is beautiful and it's fun, but it becomes no fun whatsoever when you can't get decent performance out of it and you start to see the micro stutters and stuff because it's just too much. And if you think about it, VR is literally rendering 2 panels with the same number of pixels per panel. So that's telling your video card to render 2 outputs at the same number of pixels per screen. So it's double duty versus a single panel. So when this says 40 FPS up here, and then people say, well, I get 80 FPS with my Rift S. Technically you do if you add the 2 up, but it is only 40 FPS per lens, which is never going to equal the same as 80 FPS rendered on a single screen, if that makes sense. And it should make sense. So that is our current limitation of VR, is basically just the CPU and the GPU horsepower needed to pull it off. Well, I'm already out of fuel, so I'm going to leave it at that. But again, I just wanted to show you guys this. I think it's pretty cool. And it's nice that I'm able to, you know, get something for my money out of this World War II Assets package. And this is one of the cooler ones. So, as always, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. And until next time.